Welcome to Aimpoint Hunts the Globe 4. My name is Rob Fickling and I'm the presenter of the Australian hunting television series Beyond the Divide. Once again, I'll be the host on this trip where I join the team from Aimpoint, Sweden, made up of former world's strongest man Magnus Samuelsson, his brother Torbjorn Samuelsson, and Aimpoint's marketing director Erik Jepsen. This time we're across the Tasman in one of my favourite hunting playgrounds, New Zealand. And over the coming episodes, we'll be taking on an epic hunt for multiple species covering big game, small game and waterfowl across both the North and South Island. Helping us out will be guides Dave Ryan and Roger James, and our 6th episode has us back on the North Island helping out some local farmers with a few problem animals. Only a few days earlier, duck season had opened in New Zealand, and at the request of the farmer, our first hunt for the day was to try and thin out the numbers of ducks fouling up his new cattle dams. After working around through cover, the guys moved in, but the wary ducks spotted us and took off. After a quick volley of shots, we'd secured ourselves and the farmer a nice bag of tasty mallards. We now headed off for the fringe areas of the farm where it bordered the native bush. It was here that the property owner explained how solid numbers of fallow deer were breeding up in the thick cover, and unfortunately for him, they were constantly grazing his paddocks. The terrain was ideal with plenty of broken cover, but as it was later in the morning, the deer were harder to find. But we kept searching the edges, and it didn't take long for Erik to find a small herd moving out for a feed. Now, he just had to close the gap.
Today we were called out to a farmer who needed some culling on some fallow deer. We were preserving these for meat today, and we've been stalking around this farm. It's a beautiful farm, very valley, very hilly. And we found these two beautiful fallow deer standing out here grazing. I took a shot at the first one with my Fin light rifle and the Aimpoint Acro. It dropped immediately, the other one started running, and especially using an Aimpoint sights, I could take the second one quite quickly also. Just amazing to be able to help the farmer with some meat.
Over to the east on a nearby property, the landscape took on a big change and dropped away into some much steeper country that held thick scrubby gorges and an overly abundant population of feral goats. Again, the unwelcome goats were proving to be a problem to the farmer and becoming a menace as they bred up in the difficult terrain and moved out to graze the improved pasture.
I'll take the black one.
So I just shot this goat, and it's considered a pest here because it eats a lot of the food for the sheep. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring it back and then use it for dog food. So it's still not going to go to waste, it's going to come to a purpose.
Erik and Torbjorn moved higher up the ridge and soon found goats spread right around the surrounding faces. The distances they were now presented with were often in excess of 200 metres, and in an excellent display of marksmanship as well as the capabilities of the Aimpoint, this goat was taken cleanly at just over 320 metres.
Oh, no way!
Right on, mate. Thank you. Hot barrels.
Yeah, hot barrels.
Look out for more adventures in this series of Aimpoint Hunts the Globe 4. Coming up next is episode 7. The deer hunting continues as we wrap up the adventure stalking Sika on the North Island.